You are listening to Love Your Practice with Dr. Laura Mach. I'm a general dentist, a practice owner, and a certified life coach. I teach women who own dental practices to lead with intention and literally fall in love with their businesses. Keep listening and you will see how learning to love your practice turns into loving your life too. Hey ladies, Dr. Laura Mach here, and I have something exciting to talk to you about. Are you one of those women who loves dentistry and loves the clinical part of it, but cringes and hates the part where we are employers, managers of our employees? Well, I have something special for you, and this is going to make a huge difference in your ability to lead, and I have made it so easy to say yes. So keep listening. On March 21st at 9 a.m. Central, I am going to host a small group instruction on how to inspire your employees to want to follow your leadership. This course is going to be limited to 8 women. So after 8 women sign up, I am closing the registration. The course is $50. It's possibly the cheapest thing I've ever offered, and it is going to be life-changing content on how to use our understanding of emotions and motivations to our advantage in leading our employees. Anyone who comes to the course will come away with actionable steps that they can take in their practice Monday morning to use our emotions in practice to help our employees want to follow us. So, if that sounds like something that you want to do, you need to contact me as soon as possible, and I've made it extremely simple. You have to send me an email that says who you are and that you want to be in the course. And after that, I'll send you a way to make the payment. Super simple. The easiest way to email me is to go to my website, loveyourpractice.net, and use the contact me form there. Or you can email me. You can just write this down. It's drlauramachdds@gmail.com. But honestly, just go to my website. It's easier. Okay, loves? We will see you. I'm looking forward to hearing from those of you who you know who you are. You could use this class. I've set it up for you. I look forward to meeting you. Okay, see you soon. Well, hello, ladies. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I'm Dr. Laura Mach, and I am here to talk to you about loving your practice. Today, I'm going to do an episode that is just you and me. No interview. I want to talk to you about something really important. And that is, in essence, leadership. And what is the one single most important factor that's going to determine if you are able to lead your team in a way where you can make adjustments, you can make changes, you can give feedback, and they will respond and they will love you and they will be grateful for your excellent leadership. What do you think that one factor is? Maybe you'll be surprised when I say this, maybe you won't. It's how you feel about yourself. It's about loving yourself. It's about being calm and confident and knowing that you are okay, just like you are, and that you deserve happiness. You deserve to have employees who follow your leadership and employees who can give you really good feedback too. So there's one thing that gets in the way of this most important factor, and it is an ancient part of our brain called the amygdala. I know that I've talked about the amygdala before on this podcast, but just for a moment, if you need a physiology reminder, the amygdala is an ancient part of your brain. It's tiny, teeny. It's actually 4 little spots. Is it 4 or 2? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter, but teeny little spots in your brain that help you keep yourself safe. And back in the hunter-gatherer years of humanity, it was really useful for keeping us safe from predators or the elements or a dangerous person. When the amygdala is alerted that there's a dangerous situation, she kind of jumps in and takes over. And now that we are in 21st century Western civilization, sometimes she get a little, what's the word I want to use? Prematurely upset. Let's put it that way. Like she will interpret a situation where there's not actually any physical danger as being a time when she needs to step in and do her thing. And we love our amygdalas because they help us stay safe in dangerous times. But if we can learn how to talk to ourselves and talk to our amygdalas to help us kind of put the situation into perspective, then when our amygdalas are activated, we can have that little graceful conversation with her and move back into being calm. So I'm going to do two things on this episode. First, I'm going to tell you how to have that conversation with your amygdala. And then I'm going to tell you what it's like to lead from a place of confidence and a little bit on how to do that. And I don't want to get too far into it because I'm doing this episode to lure you in to come and do my live training with me. So if you haven't heard yet, I am going to do a live training at the end of March. It's only going to be 8 women that I'm going to allow into this. It's $50, okay? So there's no reason you can't say yes if you want to be in this training with me. I am going to spend an entire hour plus a little bonus time after that if you want to stay on how to inspire your employees to want to follow your leadership. It's going to be a very uplifting event, and I'm keeping it small on purpose so that we can all look into each other's eyes and we can be vulnerable with one another. We can use some real life examples with some real strategies that you can take into your practice on Monday morning. So if this sounds desirable to you, keep in mind, all you have to do to sign up is send me an email. Okay, I'm not going to do some fancy registration thing because it's only 8 women. Send me an email. I'll keep track of who has paid me first, and then I'll close registration. But if there's a lot of people, I can open up another Friday morning. Anyway, so what we're gonna do today, number 1, how to talk to your amygdala. Number 2, what it looks like when you are calm and confident as a leader. Okay, so let's talk about this amygdala situation. So an example of a time when the amygdala would be activated at a time that's not really very practical. And by the way, I've named my amygdala. Some of you might know that. I call her Becky. If your name is Becky, I sincerely apologize and we can still be friends. But I just encourage all of you to name your amygdala. Reason being, it helps to remember that our amygdala is not you. It is a part of your brain, is a part of you, right? And we can talk to her. She is actually pretty reasonable. Once she's calm, she can be like, okay, yeah, you're right. You don't need me right now. So when my amygdala gets activated, I call her my Becky, and an example would be knock, knock, knock. Someone comes in and they're like, I need to talk to you. I have a problem. And all of a sudden, my heart starts to beat fast. My pits are sweating. My face is turning red. Even though there's nobody to run away from, I feel that desire to spring up and run out of the room. But instead, since I'm the boss, I say, sure, come inside. And the heart is beating and my stomach is down on the floor, especially if they say the words, well, I've been getting an interview from this other office, or Susie said she doesn't like, anyway, you can think of your own examples of when your amygdala gets triggered, but it's a lot of times when you get a complaint Or when you want to tell an employee that you want them to do something different, but you are afraid of how they're going to react. Now, why your amygdala takes over during these times is probably going to be a discussion for another day. But if we can just remember that Becky is there for you to keep you safe, then this strategy that we use for calming her down is much, much easier. So this is how it works. Step number one, recognize that Becky is in charge right now. This looks like, oh, I see that I am triggered, or I see that I'm feeling like I'm in danger. Maybe I need to ask myself if I am actually in physical danger right now. So that's going to be step number two. Ask ourselves, is this a physically dangerous situation? If it is, we can continue to let Becky do what she needs to. Maybe we need to run out of the office. Maybe the office is on fire, or a car just went through, pressed the brake or the gas instead of the brake and went through the front door. I don't know. I can think of only a few examples of times when you're in your practice when you are in physical danger. But during those times, let's let Becky do her thing that she does best. But vast majority of the time, we're going to say to ourselves, do I need my amygdala in this moment? And the answer is going to be probably not. Okay? Then we can take a moment and we can just recognize our own humanity and say to ourselves, it's natural that my amygdala tried to take charge in this moment. I understand why my heart is feeling like this. I understand that, but I also don't need to run away right now. So, Becky, thank you, but I think I've got this. I think we're going to be safe. I am safe. We are safe. And that's basically how you ask an amygdala to calm down. Now, is it instant? No. Is it an acquired skill? Yes. It certainly is. Meaning the first time you try that, it might not work very well, but please keep trying. It's like anything else. You get better at it as you go. And I suggest that you try talking to your Becky first during easy times, like when you could kind of laugh at yourself a little bit. Like sometimes my Becky gets triggered when I'm driving. Maybe I get somebody that's kind of slow in front of me, or like they don't know where they're going. And all of a sudden I'm like, "Rawr!" But then I can go, oh yeah, I'm being a little bit silly. It's okay. And I can just relax. That's easier. That situation is easier to calm down from than, for example, when an employee comes in with a problem that's hard to handle, right? So start with the easy ones, okay? And by the way, many of my clients work with me on their Becky and recognizing when they're experiencing amygdala moments. I want you to know that it is extremely common and it does take time to get good at it. I would say for my average client, we're going to talk about amygdalas during coaching sessions 3 to 4 times before they can get to a point where it's getting easier. I'm just telling you that because I don't want you to be hard on yourself if it doesn't work really well the first time. Okay. All right. So that's point number one is how to talk to your Becky, your amygdala. Point number two is going to be what leadership looks like on the other side. Where could we be confident? Could we be curious instead of defensive? Okay, the reason this is so effective, ladies, is because when we are defensive, our employees are also going to be defensive because their amygdalas also get triggered and they will show up in ways that are protecting their own organism, which is walls and barriers and defending mistakes that they made instead of being open to new ways of doing things. When we are calm, our employees can be calm. When we are confident, then our employees can know that they are okay. So then when we encounter a problem, we can ask ourselves, gosh, I wonder how this problem could actually maybe improve my practice. Maybe I'm seeing something that I can improve now. And going forward, I'm going to have a better practice because I encountered this problem today and I addressed it. Or here's another one. Um, if I'm defensive and Susie comes in and says she just booked a cruise for next week, if I'm defensive, then I might be like, "What? How could you do that to me?" If I'm calm, then I can say curiously to myself, how do I want to show up for myself and my practice and my employee in this moment? And it might be that you choose, once you're feeling calm, to remind your employee what the policy is for attendance. Or it might just be that you decide that you wanted next week off too, and you're going to both take the week off. I don't know. I'm just making this up. But the thing is that there is no need when an employee comes in with a wackadoodle request like that, there is no need to let Becky be in charge because we're not in danger. And when we're cool and confident, we can make better choices and we can reflect those emotions and project them into, not into, but nurture into our employees, if that makes sense. Why is it important for our employees to also feel calm and maybe appreciated and not defensive? Well, guess what? The way we act every day is a product of what we are feeling. So if you want your employees to act in an ideal way where they're doing what you ask, they're spoiling your patients, they're reaching out in customer service, they're having fun. I'm sure we all want our employees having fun, productive fun, obviously. Then their feelings are going to matter. You are their leader, and as such, if their feelings matter, we have to start with you. And that is how we end up inspiring our employees to do what we want them to do. We start with taking care of ourselves. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. It's just a quickie. If you want to sign up for that course, make sure you send me an email as soon as possible. I'm sure it's going to be full. And ladies, I will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Love Your Practice with Dr. Laura Mach. I would love to meet you. To join our movement, find the Facebook group called Love Your Practice and request to join. If you can't find it, just send me a message and I'll add ya. You'll find me there helping all of my ladies to fall in love with their businesses and have a better life.